The city was on top of the world. The war was over, the boys were home, and America was the belle of the ball. We just detonated a couple of atom bombs, and we figured we were the only tough guys on the block. Thought we had God himself on a leash. And then, one hot desert night, the first body dropped on our lawn. And it wasn't from around here. From 47 to 52, their ships started falling out of the sky. 16 of them. 65 bodies and 1 survivor. A living, breathing representative fell right into our hands. He became our first and last client from outside this world. The case was classified higher than the Manhattan Project. The panic upstairs was thicker than the smoke at a poker game. The Secretary of Defense, James Forrestal. He was a good man. Too good. Religious. Thought the public had a right to know what new predators were out on the hunt. He started talking. They shut him up fast. First with a diagnosis, paranoia. Then with a room in a naval hospital. And when that didn't work, they just threw him out the window. First rule of this business, witnesses don't live long. As for our client, we called him EBE, Extraterrestrial Biological Entity. He just laid there, silent, only answered the questions we already knew the answers to. Smart guy, knew the rules of the game. But after a year, finally started to talk, and the story he told would make the devil himself light up a nervous cigarette. His whole confession formed the basis of the Yellow Book, our own private gospel straight from the stars. Then he got sick. Turns out his biology was chlorophyll-based. He was more plant than animal. We brought in the best botanists, but they couldn't save him. He died in 52, leaving us with his story and a hell of a lot of questions.
In 53, a new boss moved into the White House, Eisenhower, a soldier. He liked order, and what he had was chaos. 10 more crash disks, 26 more bodies, and 4 more live ones. He knew we had to handle the alien problem. Not for the people in charge. He made a call to an old friend, Nelson Rockefeller, and that was the biggest mistake in the history of mankind. Together, they put together a committee, MJ-12, a dozen guys in expensive suits who decided the world belonged to them. And then the real landlord showed up. Not the poor souls who'd been crashing in the desert, the serious players, in big ships hanging up there in high orbit. Project Sigma intercepted their chatter. They weren't hostile, they were just waiting. Around the same time, another group made contact. Human-looking, tall, beautiful. Said the guys in orbit were bad news. They warned us, offered us spiritual development in exchange for our nuclear weapons. We refused. What kind of cop gives up his gun? We weren't that kind. So we made a deal with the bad guys in 54 at Edwards Air Force Base. Eisenhower pretended he was going to the dentist. In reality, he was meeting the boss of the new syndicate. They said they came from a planet near Betelgeuse, said their world was dying. They were looking for a new home. The deal was simple as a bullet to the head. They stay out of our business, we stay out of theirs. They give us technology, we give them people, a limited number, for medical experiments, on the condition they'd be returned unharmed with their memories wiped. We exchanged 16 personnel each as hostages, and we built them underground bases on our own soil. The famous Area 51, that's their office. We thought we were getting a partner. Turns out, we were just leasing out our city to a new landlord.
By 55, it was clear. We'd been played for fools. Mutilated humans and animals started turning up all over the country. The abduction list they gave us were fiction. Not everyone was being returned. They had lied. Turns out, they didn't just need data. They needed our hormones, our enzymes, our genetic material. Their race was dying out, and they were trying to fix their own broken genome with ours. We weren't partners, we were a resource, biological cattle. We tried to fight back, scrambled our Air Force. It was like trying to stop a bullet by spitting at it. Our weapons were children's toys compared to theirs. The MJ-12 committee realized we were trapped.
They decided to keep smiling, keep shaking their hands, and to buy time. Time to build a bigger gun in our own basement. We began a secret arms race that nobody knew about. Projects Joshua and Excalibur. Sound cannons, nuclear-tipped missiles that could punch through a kilometer of rock to hit them in their underground burrows. And them? They told us about our future, showed us a hologram of the crucifixion of Christ, said they created us through hybridization, and that an apocalypse was coming. Whether they were predicting it or planning it, we never knew. With these guys, you never could tell.
Nothing has changed since then. The world is run by a secret government. The Bilderberg Group, the Rockefellers, MJ-12, they're just middle management. Presidents after Eisenhower? They knew nothing. They were fed whatever information the syndicate wanted them to have. The syndicate itself continues its experiments. They realized brute force wasn't necessary. They began manipulating us in more subtle ways, through secret societies, cults, religion, through drugs and social programs that create crime and chaos, through panic in the media. They are preparing us for something, for that final chapter they warned us about. Our entire space program is a farce, a distraction. There have been joint bases on the moon and Mars for decades. The Aurora craft at Area 51 flies there like a commuter train. This whole story, I've told you everything I know. I've done my duty. What you do with this truth is your business. You can call me crazy, you can forget everything you've heard. But the next time you look up at the sky and see something strange, or the next time a president starts talking about an unexplainable threat, just know the game has been rigged for a long time, and we're not the players. We're the chips on the table, maybe even the table itself. And me, I'm just an old detective who took on a case that was too big for him.